What if I told you you could stop your life as you know it and start over? No more monotonous job, no more monthly bills sucking you dry, no more earthly responsibility. Instead, what if you could leave it all behind and begin anew in a new world? A world full of magic and fantasy. Instead of working at Wendy's pushing Krabby Patties, you can be a legendary shield hero, or an all-powerful slime, or even a skeletal overlord with supreme power. Human beings have always looked for some sort of way to escape reality. That can be through the medium of drugs, or even safer means like video games. But there's a genre of anime that captures the desire for escapism. It infuses so many other forms of story and narrative and serves it up to anime fans on a platter. Today, I'm going to be talking about Isekai. Let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is an Isekai? The word literally means another world in Japanese. And that's the core of the genre. The hero or protagonist usually starts off in our reality and then bam, they're transported or reincarnated into a completely different world. Isekai plays on one of our most primal desires, escapism. How many times have you looked at your job, your school, or even your daily routine and just thought, man, I really wish I could drop everything I'm doing and go on an adventure? Well, Isekai is that wish fulfillment in anime form. It takes the ordinary and throws it into the extraordinary. Suddenly, the boring life of the protagonist becomes an epic quest filled with magic, monsters, and unlimited possibilities. And let's not forget the power fantasy. A lot of Isekai protagonists start off as nobodies, but once they hit that new world, they unlock ridiculous abilities or skills that make them overpowered. And who doesn't want to imagine themselves as being OP in a new universe? Like, come on, if I went to a new world, I'd be strong. I wouldn't be weak. No character expresses this more than my guy, Rakuro Hitsutame. He's from a newer anime called Shangri-La Frontier, and Rakuro habitually chases escapism by seeking out the worst possible video games on the market. He spends his days meandering through high school, not doing anything eventful. Like, bro even has a stalker who follows him around like Hinata from Naruto, hoping to date him, and he's just like fully locked in on gaming. Bro has no time for touching grass or the hose. With him playing bad video games to exhaustion though, one day out of boredom, he gives a new actual good game a chance. But really quickly, I want to point out how these just aren't regular video games he's playing. They're virtual reality games. If you aren't too familiar with what virtual reality games are, in real life they were released for the typical consumer, and they were marketed as a way to immerse yourself in a new world and be something similar to the Matrix. A virtual world where you can plug in and become an entirely new person in a whole new world. But unfortunately, early VR was mostly experience simulators for the most part, but it was not really the experience you would expect. We're getting closer to that dream nowadays, just not that Matrix plug-in that a lot of people are dreaming about. But anyway, Rakuro though, was true perfection of escapism. He was seeing, breathing, and eating in a whole new world and a body as if he was the one he was born with. Why are isekai such a popular form of anime and manga though? The best answer to that question, I think, can be found in the homeland origin of the art form, Japan. The Japanese people have a large amount of dope shit to be proud of. The art, their music, their architecture, just their overall culture is dope. But there has been an epidemic that has been running rampant in the country more so than in other places though. Being overworked. The work-life balance in Japan is really off balance. People who work in industries like animation work in borderline slavery-like conditions sometimes. An infamous studio like Studio Mappa has animated a lot of modern, critically acclaimed anime like Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, and Hell's Paradise. All anime known for their amazing animation and have been known to have terrible working conditions. The second season of JJK faced a lot of criticism for their perceived mistakes in the animation of their episode 14. Not too long after the internet was being the internet and tore it apart, a key animator took to Twitter to peel back the curtain and let the public know that he himself had been tasked with finishing 250 cuts in 2 weeks. Now, I can't properly break down how hard that is, so I wanted to refer you guys to a specialist that could kind of give you guys more of an insight on it. Roll the footage.
Sequence. A sequence can be just like 3 cuts, 30 cuts, 19 cuts, and so one scene can be 1 second or 10 seconds, 30 seconds. It depends.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And if there is a lot of seconds, it's more works.
Right, naturally.
And so,
But it's not just about getting cool powers. At its heart, Isekai is a story about growth. The hero is often thrown into a world that they don't understand, with challenges that test their strength, will, and character. In these moments, we get to see some of the most profound character development. It promotes the idea that even the outcasts of society, who wouldn't typically be looked at as heroes, now show that they bring more to the world than their previous bodies would allow. Rudius from Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation is a prime example of that. Rudius in his original life was, for lack of better words, a middle-aged loser. He lived in his parents' house, and usually in our everyday society, we would look at my boy Rudy and wonder, I wonder what he can offer the world or what he can do to be great. We look at him as a lost cause. But through his dying, he gets a chance to start over. In this instance, he's reborn. Like literally reborn, like a whole baby and everything. This Phoenix-like revival gives him an opportunity to not just make the same mistakes he made in his prior life, but in this life he trains in magic as a child until he becomes one of the world's most strongest and infamous magic users. Now let's talk about world building. One of the most significant aspects to Isekai is that these shows transport us to incredibly diverse and imaginative worlds. Whether it's a high fantasy setting with dragons and dungeons, or a sci-fi universe with advanced tech, the genre always pushes the boundaries of what's possible. The creativity that goes into these worlds is really insane. Like, we're there along the characters, so we get to explore vibrant worlds right alongside the main characters who are just new to this world just like we are. And the world isn't just a backdrop, it's alive. Isekai often presents us with intricate lore and politics and systems of magic that add depth to the story. It's more than just eye candy. These worlds have rules, history, and cultures that make us feel as though they are a real setting and not just fiction, that they've been lived in for a long time before the character and we have gotten there. A world like the one in That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, though, has its own hierarchy and politics that the main character Rimuru has to navigate. Creating a world that feels lived in and like it, again, existed long before we got there. This is insanely hard to do though. So when I see it done well, I have to give it props. Isekai isn't just a one thing though. It's a genre that blends with so many others. You've got action-packed isekai like Sword Art Online, slice-of-life isekai like The Devil is a Part-Timer, and even romantic ones like In Another World with My Smartphone. This versatility keeps things fresh because you never know what new twist isekai might bring. Just like with anime itself, I believe there's an isekai for everyone. Just let me know what you like to watch, and I'm sure I can find an isekai out there for you that you enjoy. At the end of the day, what makes isekai great is its ability to take us out of our comfort zones and throw us into limitless worlds full of adventure, discovery, and transformation. It's a subgenre that offers something for everyone. Whether you're here for the overpowered main character, the stunning world building, or the deep emotional journeys, there's a reason Isekai continues to dominate the anime landscape, and it taps into our imagination in ways that I don't think too many other genres can, or subgenres can in that matter. The last 2 years were a rough time for your boy. I kind of was on and off with depression at different times, and one way I got to leave my troubles behind for a little bit was by starting to watch Isekai. And when I mean I watched, I mean I binged everything I saw on Crunchyroll with Funimation that I thought I'd enjoy. They tackled everything that titillates my nerd senses. And yes, I know I said titillate. It's a fun word. Leave me alone. Let me have it. Anyway, Isekai, at least for now, is pretty fun and is my favorite kind of anime to watch. And it may be that way for a while. Shows like Overlord immediately sucked me in and never let me go. So what's your favorite Isekai? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and share the video if you enjoyed, and if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to keep notified on the content I drop here. I cover a wide array of nerd topics from video games to comics and even horror if you're feeling spicy. So if you want to hear me ramble and check out more of my other stuff I have on the channel, I'd appreciate it. Like truly, thoroughly, I appreciate any support I've gotten thus far from anybody that's watched the channel, and I'm thankful for any support I may get in the future. But anyway, guys, from the last video, my dojo warriors, thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking out what I have to offer. Again, this has been Captain Diesel of Captain Diesel's Dojo, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.